us today. Let's talk about how is your experience at the event today and what are some of the key takeaways.
So it's been a very interesting and amazing event. In a way, we're finding the panel discussions quite informative. In terms of discussions, in terms of the panels are something which are very relevant in terms of having panels on merger acquisitions and trends in acquisitions. And right now we are having a panel on artificial intelligence and how it's gonna impact the legal profession. So it's been a very interesting event because we are touching upon topics which are of very relevance, and typically the audience seems to be engaged and something it concerns all of us.
So we see that today GCs are becoming increasingly involved in the day-to-day operations and the strategic operations at firms. So what are your views on that and how does that play out?
See, the roles of general counsels has evolved over the years. Traditionally, a few years back, you would see GCs as people who would only typically outsource work to law firms. They would not be really involved in the legal profession, or it was a notion that GCs are not very well entrenched into the law, or they are not dealing with law. But in the last few years, the role of GCs has become very, very important and has completely evolved. And I think one of the key takeaways and the key stuff we've seen is now every large corporate is typically growing the legal team in-house. And so the role of GCs, especially with issues like compliance, with harassment issues, with more and more, because as the government is getting into more compliances, it may be tax compliance or maybe ethics compliance. So now the role of GC becomes very, very important as the organizations grow. So there is only a certain amount of work which they will outsource. But even if they are outsourcing, the GC gets more involved. It may be a transaction because they understand the business better. So now you have what has changed is the general counsels and the in-house lawyers have a better understanding of the business. It may be infra, it may be telecom, or it may be banking. So those guys, have play a very key role in the transactions. They have not, it just ceased to be merely passive lawyers where they were outsourcing work. So the role of GCs has become more and more important, and that's typically we see more and more lawyers from, the GCs are typically now lawyers from law firms who put in 10 years, 15 years in legal profession and are now moving as GCs to the key corporations.
Yes, sir. So with the BCI, the Bar Council of India, allowing foreign lawyers practicing in India, do you think it will change the Indian legal landscape, and if yes, how?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best things which has happened to the legal profession, because the Bar Council has come up with regulations which are well guarded. In terms of Indian regulations, it still says the foreign lawyers will only be permitted to practice foreign laws, and they will not be permitted to practice Indian laws. Yeah, but it's gonna definitely change the demography and the way, because foreign law firms are already contemplating. In fact, one of the linked legal dentons is one example where already we have one live example where in a past few months one of the law firms, foreign law firms, has come and done a JV with an Indian company. Surely more and more foreign law firms are contemplating coming and setting up their offices here, because what will change is now the foreign lawyers which were not permitted to come or set up their offices can now come in and offer their services. It may be because as more and more Indian are, because we also face, as domestic lawyers, we have clients who are typically investing globally, and so once they have access to these lawyers, the global lawyers being here, present here, so it will change the demography of the legal profession, because it's quite a welcome change, as it also gives access to everyone, and open up the market for everyone.
Do you think, in your view, has the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, has it helped in achieving its objective of smoothing the business operations?
Yeah, in a way it has. See, we would say IBC has not completely succeeded in achieving the desired objectives. But yes, in a way what IBC has achieved is it has set up a form of regulation where the companies the companies which are not performing, they can be declared insolvent and sold to the highest bidders. So there have been a lot of cases in the past where the companies who are not doing well at least it does not impact the creditors and the shareholders in terms of the companies are in many ways, we have companies because one of the key challenges is still the delays. It takes years and years, sometimes it takes 2 to 3 years or 4 years for the insolvency process to be completed, which derails the entire process. But the positive part is, we have seen a lot of companies where the bids have come and the companies have been sold to successful bidders, and the new bidders have taken over and running the company in a very effective way. So it has not completely erodes the shareholders' value or the value of, and especially for the creditors, because that was a big challenge before the IBC came in, because once a company went insolvent, the company went bust, and creditors have had no recourse in any form.
These were some great insights, sir. Thank you again for being
Thank
here
you.
with us at Business
Yeah.